Well, LJak is an author, poet, musician, and many other things, and he's here with us today. How are you doing?
What's going on? Thank you. I'm doing excellent.
Well, it's great to have you here on the show. Now, first of all, you've got an upcoming album coming out not this Monday, but next Monday. So, can you tell us just a little bit about that album and what we can expect from it?
It's entitled Self Esteem, 21 tracks. It's
Yeah.
my first album, it's my debut album. What you're going to get from it is me as an artist and as a human being completely just breaking down how I am just looking at my life, how I am filtering it
Yeah.
and not filtering it. And each song, beginning from when my years before 2018, 19, 20, 21, all of those years are on this one CD.
Yeah.
And it's just me explaining my universe and explaining me as a writer, as an author, the conflict that I feel in those realms,
Mm.
in the love and the hate from the minds that are contributing to those specific branches of thought, and everything that just goes into being a writer and an artist,
Yeah.
and how that just reacts on you as a human being.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of the musical style, I take it you're sticking with the hip hop and rap genre, as that's what you've kind of done previously.
Yeah, sticking with rap and hip hop, but it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm mixing a little bit of punk rock, but still punk rap. I don't know what you would call it, but I don't listen to that much modern music. But some of the little
Yeah.
things that I do take that sounds artistic, I blend it into what I do, and so I'm taking that feel, but
Mm.
a little bit of that hip hop tough grit feel with the same mix of a punk type rock. 'Cause I love that genre. I love Panic at the Disco.
Yeah.
I love Creed.
Mm.
I love Stained.
Yeah.
I love Fuel. But at the same time, I love West Coast hip hop
Yeah.
from the '90s, and so I'm a mixed bag. I'm a mixed bag of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. That's quite a big range of stuff that you listen to. Do you think it's important to have a broad range of influences then?
Yes and no,
Mm.
because I everything that I do, even when it comes to my writing, there's specific branches of thought when you go into the field of academics.
Yeah.
And no matter what you study, you're going to be influenced by somebody else's train of thought. And although that's good, I would rather prefer originality, because I don't want to regurgitate something that will keep stagnant a
Yeah.
form of thought. I wanna do something original so that whoever's hearing or whoever reads it, they're getting something that can make them get out of the train of thought and to take on the subject in a whole new realm and a whole new way. It could become new to them. It could just be a stream of just vibration that
Yeah.
can take them somewhere that they've never been before. So influence is good, but at the same time, you don't want to get too influenced that your originality is fading into the background.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only are you a musician, of course, but you've also written a few books. And I like the fact that your music talks about your struggles as an author. So you've sort of combined those two things in a way there.
It's weird, you hear music. Music is just a
Yeah.
portrayal of lifestyle, I believe.
Yeah.
So normal hip hop, normal rap, I don't know. You're talking about they're coming from people from a lesser, status, I would say, in
Mm.
society. So they're talking
Yeah.
about drugs. They're talking about women in a certain way. They're talking
Yeah.
about the things they do with their bodies and their minds in ways that's not familiar or that's not normal. So
Mm.
for me, it's like I'm talking about my environment, but my environment is books. My
Yeah.
environment is mind. My environment is philosophy. So when you tune into me, you're getting hip hop and you're getting rap, but at the same time, it's the environment of learning
Mm.
and the struggle of learning in an industry, because I'm in the industry of publishing, and
Yeah.
I'm in the industry of receiving hate from gatekeepers
Yeah.
that stick to certain paradigms. So I get the hate. So
Mm.
I'm talking about the hate in my music, and I'm talking about the anger in my music, but then at the same time, I'm talking about the love I get from people that hear something or read something from me and go, I've never heard it in that way. I want to live by that. Or somebody reaching out by email or by a phone call. I just left a philosophy that I believe in. I just left a belief. Can you help me?
Yeah.
I just purchased one of your books. Help me to understand what you're saying.
Mm.
So like that's what my books are. I mean, my music is about. It's just my environment that I've been cultivating for the past couple of years.
Yeah. And do you find that because you're writing about different things than regular hip hop, you're not doing the whole sex, drugs, and rock and roll kind of thing, do you find that the normal hip hop fans still enjoy that, even though there's a different subject matter to the song?
I do, and
Hmm.
it's completely weird
Yeah.
because in my music I'm not just saying the normal trend of the style of hip hop.
Yeah.
In my music I'm actually saying things, and so the people that are hearing it, the one thing I always hear, it's consistent, completely consistent. They
Yeah.
say it's refreshing.
Ah.
Yeah, they say it's refreshing to hear somebody actually say words
Mm.
and have a flow that's unlike what is, the hudda or whatever it is. And I get the same response. It's like it's refreshing, and then they mimic the current rap flow. Then they say like you're actually saying words in a way that's fast, or in a way that's decent, or in
Yeah.
a way that's beyond what's going on right now. So
Yeah.
the it's surprising to know that there's people that are out there that want to hear about an author's life in
Mm.
the form of hip hop, or
Yeah.
or a writer's life in the form of hip hop.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess who decides the rules on what you can do with each genre? If you want to rap about anything in hip hop, then you should be allowed to do that.
Exactly, as long as you can just make sure it can make sense, and
Yeah.
and make sure like you can just have your own audience, build up a tribe to that, because people they have to accept you. And
Yeah.
I guess the struggle that I've gone through the previous years, I guess that's allowed me to build up a sort of experience plus an audience, so that now the things that I say, it's just like, oh wow, I
Yeah.
just Googled him and he's actually true, or he's actually real. He's
Mm.
actually, yeah. It's one of those things that's happening to me now.
Yeah. And having listened to some of your songs, you are quite fast in a way. You're able to say words quite quickly, whereas if I tried that, I would mumble and make mistakes with my words. How do you do that?
You'd be surprised if you mumbled your word, you'd be like a number one hit, because that's just that's just what it is right now. It's for me, growing up, I just listened to like two of my influences in music was Tupac and then Eminem.
uh,
So like when I wanna think, I'll listen to Tupac, and then when I want to be angry, I'll listen to Eminem.
uh,
And so like when I want to be in those places, I guess I just grew accustomed to the style of Eminem, and not just him. There's other people
yeah.
like Onyx.
Mm.
There's other people that have a flow that's fast, but yet the syllables are just so pronouncing themselves within themselves, and
Yeah.
that's what I like about that kind of style. I like pronouncing syllables inside of syllables and making those words move and tell a story with a rhyme scheme.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that in a fast way, it takes, I guess, a lot of practice. And I've practiced very angrily with different angry artists that do the same thing. So I guess that's just my ability. But I would rather, speak at a decent, rate,
Yeah.
just because I like to pronounce words, and you can get more in elocution, in
Yeah.
articulation, from something that's not so fast, but decently speed in a decent speed.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what are your long term goals? Where do you hope to be in a few years with your music?
Oh man, right now it's just about I'm the starving artist.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just hoping, um, and I'm confident, based on I guess the interactions and the acceptance, is that my music will continue to support me,
Yeah.
and in a few years, in a major way that is giving an introduction, like you mentioned earlier, to a genre that's just not there,
Mm.
or to a category of conversation. I guess that's what I mean. A category of conversation where you can discuss your trials Who knows? You may have a doctor, doctors as a musician doing country music or something, hearing my music and being like, "Wow, I'm going to sing about being a doctor from," and things like that,
Yeah,
influencing professions and the struggling professions to give a voice in an artistic way through music.
yeah,
And I see that, skyrocketing.
yeah, absolutely. So, what specific stuff have you got coming up after this album? Have you got anything planned, or are you just taking your time?
I'd like to take my time. After this, I have a book that will be published.
Oh,
Um, Mostly, I'm thinking early 2022.
hmm.
It's usually my books are research-based books, philosophical type books, besides my poetry book. But this one is a fantasy novel.
Oh,
And actually, one of the songs on the album is dedicated to this book. The song, it's entitled Legend, and it's dedicated to the main character, which is an angel, or half angel, half something else, a new breed of being, a new breed of sort of supernatural species, going through his life and wanting to understand where he belongs. He doesn't belong above in the heavens. He doesn't belong below in what I call the under universe.
no.
And he doesn't belong, in between. So he's trying to figure out where he belongs as a ruler.
Yeah.
And will he decide one or the other, or will he just conquer everything? And
Mm.
that's what the book is about, the decision he has to make.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And when you're not writing books and making music, do you have any fun things that you like to spend your time doing?
I'll say when the weather's nice, the ocean.
Oh yeah,
Or yeah, going to the beach, or
yeah.
just walking along there.
Mm.
I guess they thought is the next fun activity I like to do. somebody somebody listening is like, that's not even fun, but
Yeah,
to me, like, that's thought is the next fun thing for me.
yeah. Well, that's like breathing, I suppose.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I guess the sea is such a nice place to be. I guess it's great for the mental health. Just being at the seaside always makes you feel better, unless you get pooed on by a seagull or something. But that could
And
happen anywhere.
it happened to a buddy of mine a couple weeks ago. It was
Oh,
hilarious. He
yeah.
was, coming out of his home, going for work, and then a bird just got him, right up.
I was at the beach a few months ago and I didn't even feel it at all, but it must have been a few hours later. I just kind of felt my hair for whatever reason and there was
Oh
something
man,
sticky in there.
that's hilarious.
This is like an ingenious solution. I had some hand sanitizer in my pocket, so I just rubbed that in my hair and it seemed to fix it until I went home and had a shower.
Man, so is that good luck? Have you had any kind of good luck since then?
I don't think so, really. I mean, no, nothing significant, really.
Well, you never know. There's still time.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Maybe those particles that are still in there, they're still giving off some kind of something for something positive to come your way.
Maybe, who knows? Well, where are we able to listen to all your music if we'd like to check it out?
Uh, Main spot: YouTube, Spotify, Pandora. If you just Google LJak, LJak, my music is all right there. I'll pop up immediately.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining us here on the show today. It's been wonderful to have you on the airwaves.
Thank you.